Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Capsule Computers official gaming podcast with this week's incredibly sick cast. We are also sponsored by Lon Lon Ranch Milk, the most tastiest milk in all of Hyrule.
Maybe
Today,
our cast should drink some of that, and then they wouldn't be so sick.
yes. Today on the podcast, we have with us, on my left, taking it from the front, Luke Halliday.
Oh, the front. That's actually an interesting position. Wait,
Yes, it is.
front. So, how exactly does taking it from the front work? I'm intrigued in this now.
Well, you get a very, very thin object,
Yes.
and you place it within the head of the penis.
I don't like this anymore.
Okay. Following Luke from slightly behind him is Travis. The Travis. Yes.
I am me.
Travis the Travis.
Indeed,
Wow,
he
you
is.
probably spent like hours thinking of that, hey?
Yep.
Amazing introduction.
Uh-huh. Following Travis is our Kirby lover, Dustin Spencer.
Yep.
I like Kirby fucker.
Exactly.
Actually, or just because you're a little jealous. Yep. That.
Jealous of what?
I
I
bet
don't know. I'm kind of out of it right now. Allergy
Kirby gives
medicine.
an amazing blowjob.
You need some Lon Lon milk.
I do need some Lon Lon milk. I need.
Kirby will give you a nice blowy.
And following Dustin, right at the back, giving it to everybody in front of him, Jahanzib Khan.
These briskets are amazing.
Good.
The Egyptian Jew who parted the Red Sea.
Yep.
What's up?
Not much. Okay, let's move on to some news. Yeah.
Fair enough.
First news article for the day is Game Over.
Game over.
Question mark.
What's this one bit?
David Christensen. Basically, in Australia,
Supposed to go?
the game thing, the game,
Store.
the store, yes. So I have I have like
store.
a cold or something. You excuse my lack of braininess today. The game store is officially almost over. They are
damn it.
looking for a buyer to buy the company off them, I guess.
Who would buy that?
I have no idea.
Not THQ.
Well, you know,
no-
as tragic as these things are, there is one good thing that comes out of it. 40% off sales.
Yes!
Yeah.
The death of a
But they'll try
company
and push
always
some pre-orders down your throat as well. In
Where you
classic
can pick
game.
up games like Bulletstorm for just $15.
That's how much I picked it up for. It's such a good game. It's worth
And
so
pick
much.
up any game on the Wii for 50 cents.
Any Wii game.
Any.
Sweet.
And you get a 3DS for just $169.
Yeah.
That's how much it costs in America, anyways.
Shut up, Travis.
Americans and your cheaper
Fuck y'all.
consoles.
Fuck y'all, man. Hey, yuck.
Alright, moving on. Next article. This was by Travis, so he might have something to say about this. Street
Yeah.
Fighter 25th Anniversary Collector's Set revealed.
Yep. It's been 25 years since Street Fighter was made, and they've made 30,000 games. I mean, they made 30,000 Street Fighter 4 clones. Wait, actually no. They just made a bunch of different games, and pretty much they include all the different versions in this package. You can buy it
Hold
for
on.
150
Let's-
bucks.
Let's not mislead consumers here. It only has digital codes for Street Fighter 3 and Street Fighter 2 HD, and has Super Street Fighter 4 and the new Street Fighter X Tekken,
Wait,
which
so it
isn't
doesn't have
It's got the
the
arcade edition of Super Street
Ah.
Fighter 4, and then it's got with apparently all the costume DLC, so you can't get ripped off there. And
it doesn't
Super
have Street Fighter 1, so there you go. Misleading.
Who
Yeah,
would
they can
want
play
to
Street
play
Fighter
Street
Yeah,
Fighter
it doesn't
1?
have Street Fighter 1 at all. What is this?
Yeah.
Who would want to play Street Fighter 1? Who?
Why did I buy Street Fighter 4 Arcade Edition if I could have just bought this later?
Why did I
So
buy
far,
any
so
Street
far,
Fighter?
Helmy has been announced, I believe, for America. I don't think it's coming out in Australia.
Buying
Not
a
at least
Street
one
Fighter
yet.
game is the most biggest waste of money because you know in about 3 months or 6 months time that game that you have is going to be obsolete when they bring out a new version of it that has more characters.
Yeah,
It's
I mean,
an
look at
instant-
Street Fighter
Yeah.
X Tekken.
Street Fighter
It's all
X
about the
Tekken
instant
sells
gratification.
additional copies. Since no one's actually buying that game.
Mm.
What's Street Fighter X Tech? I've never heard of this game in my life.
Exactly.
We've only brought it up for the past 3 podcasts.
Oh, is that what we're talking about?
Yeah. What do you think
Oh.
we'll talk about?
Well,
I know. I just feel like I
going
was
back to the
bashing Capcom
collection,
the whole
it
time.
has like, I don't know how many disc of soundtrack trailers.
A shitload. It's got 11 CDs.
Yeah.
11
So-
CDs? How many
Yeah.
freaking songs is they? Oh, what?
It's even
got
got remixes and
It's even got shit that
fan-created music.
fans made, yeah.
Okay, how much does this collection cost you?
150.
Oh, wow.
Is
Wait,
actually not too bad.
150,000?
It's actually a good deal, in my
$150?
opinion. I was actually thinking, well, that's a pretty decent deal for all
What's
you're
the
getting.
Australian price? $2 grand?
Probably.
Probably 250.
I haven't heard
It'll
anything
cost-
about it coming
it'll-
out here
it's
down there.
Chun-Li's left boob. There you go.
If this
Probably
had
sell
Chun-Li's
better if it
left
actually
group,
had
I
a
would buy
Chun-Li
it.
statue instead of Ryu.
If this had a
Don't
Kemi
you get,
statue, it'd
don't
be
you
fine.
get Ryu's belt or some shit?
Yeah.
Who the
Well,
fuck wants
apparently
his
that's a
belt? What do you
thing.
do with the belt? It's not like it. It's
To hold your pants up. What else?
I've already got
Yeah,
another
I mean-
belt for that. Why do I need Ryu's one?
Well,
What
it
makes
takes
that?
30.
To have broken things.
He's
What
he
makes
fought like a
Ryu's
million
belt
battles, and his
into an
pants
normal-
never fell off. So it's a good belt.
Yeah,
I'd rather have E Honda's towel.
yeah.
Alright, next article. This was by Jessica Barabas
Xena.
Lost Planet
Is that how you
3
say it?
preview. It's not really news, but we don't really have a
Lost Planet
section to cover
3. Now,
it yet.
this game, I'm surprised even exists. I'm surprised the franchise lasted past one game. Surprised people even buy this shit.
Yeah, man. Apparently,
That's what I have to say about it.
Apparently, it plays similarly to the old ones.
If it plays anything like
and-
Lost Planet 2,
There's like
it's just in the
snow
garbage.
and this big mech thing, and the dude's looking at it, and
How does this franchise consistently continue to get sequels when they all sell like shit?
The second
I
game
think
was
the
a mess.
first one actually did decent, but then the second game was terrible.
I think
Right?
I heard Jahan with a slightly different opinion of that just now.
Oh, that's what I said. The second game was terrible.
Oh, okay, so you both thought it was terrible. I thought you said you thought it was good.
No.
Oh. Fair
I haven't
enough.
really ever played the Lost Planet series, but I've really never seen the point of them putting it over a lot of their other franchises that they could easily publish, like Mega Man.
Mega Man.
Or...
Why don't they put something out that they know will make them money?
Why didn't they put out Mega Man Legends 3?
Yeah.
Instead
hell?
they put out Lost Planet 3, which no one wants. It's probably going to sell like shit. Fuck's sake.
Capcom.
Capcom are desperate to make themselves a shooter.
Yeah,
Well, they
this
could
is
do it with
just
Mega Man.
this podcast is heading towards the whole I hate Capcom sort of
They're
vibe
doing
that
it
we've
to
had.
themselves at this point.
These past few weeks have been absolutely fucked for Capcom.
It's pretty ironic since we call ourselves capsule computers.
Similar name, yeah.
Alright, next article. This one was by Luke Halliday.
Oh yeah, that was me.
Capcom increasing DLC output. Satan buys Capcom shares.
Yeah, he certainly does because this is fucking. This is something that only the devil would like. Honestly, it just fucks everyone that they want to continue doing their stupid bullshit DLC fucking tactics and all that crap. I honestly, I think I've said enough last week's podcast about how stupid their DLC
Strategy is.
strategy model, whatever you want to call it is. I just think Capcom just needs to take a good long look at themselves and realize they're just fuckwits, and I think they should all just stop doing that.
My biggest worry about Capcom is they've changed a lot in the past 5 years as far as this digital trend has went,
Yes.
and I'm really worried about Resident Evil 6 because of it.
Well,
Oh my god.
this is something. In the article I wrote, their goal is by 2022, which is 10 years from now, they want to be the biggest, or the number one provider of digital content.
Well,
So
there's
they're
nothing.
moving towards complete. They want to be completely digital by then.
There's nothing wrong with that kind of a goal, except for the fact that they have such shady practices. If you notice, every release they've had in the past year, it has had a dark cloud come over it because of some kind of bullshit, like Resident Evil Revelations or not Revelations, the Mercenaries, where they did the one save file thing, and it's just every single release they've had, except for Resident Evil Revelations, I would say that it had an okay launch, has had some shady bullshit behind it, and that's not going to help them with this at all. So,
Because the thing is, they're just really out of touch with their fans, and that's the sad thing. Because Capcom was always one of those companies that you always thought, oh yeah, Capcom, they got a very, they're tight knit with their fan base and all that sort of stuff, Capcom Unity and all that. But now they just seem to be working against their fans, and that's kind of fucked.
Yeah, like, I remember the Capcom that would employ one of their fans just because he was good at fighting games.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So,
And now what are they doing? They're just milking themselves.
And they fired that
they're,
fan.
they're starting to run out of milk. And nobody's going to drink the sand that is coming out of their teeth.
Yep.
Mainly because sand is bad for your bowels.
Is it?
Phil will.
Yeah.
Or should I say Master Abbott will? Because he just loves himself some Capcom.
Oh, man. Yeah, well, that's the thing. Phil's even been... He's like the biggest Capcom fan you'll see, and he's actually said to me that he's not liking the shit they're doing either. Like, I don't think he's bought Street Fighter X Tekken.
Well, there is one good thing, at least they're considering to do, is not have on-disc DLC anymore.
Yes.
So that's something.
That's something.
Well, they'll still, yes. Well, I mean, so what's the point? They're still, instead of having it on the disc, they're still going to develop it and then
Yep.
release it digitally.
Yeah, there'll
It's
still
gonna,
be,
instead of
there's
being
going to
on
be
disc
more.
DLC, it's going to be launch day DLC. I mean,
Mhm.
Launch Day DLC is the worst.
See, the problem here is it's not just Capcom. I mean, Capcom are the most, visible
They're not very...
culprit in this.
Yeah,
It's
they
just
don't
that-
disguise it well.
Yeah, it's just
There's
EA,
other
Activision, and a lot of developers are pretty much standing out in this regard.
Oh, Activision's not too bad in this situation, but EA
Yeah.
is definitely EA. THQ.
yeah, because
do some-
Activision don't do launch day DLC, but
they do put out shit DLC though.
Well, Namco's doing launch day DLC now.
True.
Oh, speaking of DLC, let's talk about Namco for a second.
Yep.
Tekken Tag Tournament 2. Depending on which retailer you pre-order it from, you get a different set of characters as DLC. That is just so messed
So
up.
if you want all the characters, you have to buy,
I
like,
don't really
different
see. I
versions.
disagree. I think if it's something that adds to the game, it's a good thing. And now, if it's like a character outfit or whatever, that doesn't really bug me
You
as
think
much
it's
as
fair that different retailers are providing different characters as DLC?
Remember,
yeah,
this,
but
this
that's
is a balance
I don't
issue,
mind
yeah.
pre-order bonuses such as that. So
Wait,
yeah, but I mean,
Dustin, let me say something to you.
depends is
Why can't they just make? Why does this need to be DLC? Why can't they just make it on the game already?
Like it was.
Why do I have to go to three different
Like it was
stores
back
and
in
order
the
the game 3
olden
times?
days, man. You buy a game, you have everything on it already. You don't need to wait for them to put out a DLC that, by all rights, could have easily been put on the game to begin with. That's my problem with this whole DLC revolution, if you want to call it that. Just, I don't know. It just seems like they're,
You're paying for things
hurting
that should already be
consumers.
there.
Yeah.
Like, remember GoldenEye? That thing had like 32 unlocks or some crap. And, that really added to the overall gameplay experience. Now, if you wanted unlimited ammo and, like, running around dual rocket launchers, you'd have to pay for that.
Now I'm curious, how many people are willing to buy Tekken Tag Tournament 2 from several different retailers just to get all the characters?
I'm sure they're
will
going to release like the other characters like as like a pack of them for
Yeah,
maybe,
they'll eventually put it out on DLC.
$5 or
Yeah,
something.
again,
for whole
DLC.
characters.
They will. That's what they do. They okay. They try and trick some poor saps into buying all of the game from different retailers. There's going to be those full hardcore dedicated people out there that are stupid enough to do that. But then there's the people that won't, and then they'll just be like, oh, here's a DLC for you guys. Then they'll go and eat that up, and the cycle will repeat.
Okay, with that, we'll move on to the next topic because otherwise we're going to end in a massive rant about bullshit DLC.
Yeah.
Okay, next article was by me, and this is also a preview, and this one's for XCOM Enemy Unknown.
Link, you seem really excited about this game.
Yes, I am incredibly excited about
Incredibly.
this game.
Wow.
Really, man, when I was in high school, we didn't have internet because I recently moved in with my dad because of some crap. Anyway, and he had the old XCOM games on his computer, and I was watching him play, and I'm like, oh, it looks vaguely interesting. And anyway, I was doing an assignment, and I'm like, fuck, I'm bored. Need to do something. I finished Unreal Tournament 2004 for the 30th time on Godlike. I'll pick up this XCOM game and give it a whirl. I became hooked for a bit on it. So the classic games are amazing, and when I heard that they were rebooting XCOM, I was like, wow, I'm really interested. And then I heard that they were rebooting it into a first-person shooter, and then I was like, but then after that, they announced that they were doing a remake of the classic tactical strategy format, which I was incredibly excited for again. And then I got to play it at a preview, and incredibly blown away by how well they've done it so far. For everybody who doesn't know, XCOM is like a tactical squad-based game. It's turn-based as well, so you have breathing rooms, I think, and stuff. But basically you're like a manager or like the Gendo Ikari of an organization that focuses on killing alien menaces around the world.
Yep.
Men in Black?
Yeah, so basically, yeah, very Men in Black, but with sci-fi. Like, really...
With sci-fi.
Well, you know, instead of black suits, they got, like, alien armor and shit.
Oh, yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
So, yeah, what I really love about this is, in the classic, you had a very, very clunky user interface. Like, it was just, like, this bottom pad with, like, a million buttons on it. And you had to learn like what everything did just to play at your best during a match. A lot of the buttons became irrelevant, so I'm glad that they did away with them. And what they've done in this one is they've put everything as like just a few buttons, and everything's pretty much context sensitive. So if you move a dude against, say, a car, he'll automatically crouch into a cover position instead of you having to manually tell him to crouch where he is. So it's a good one. It's also a lot easier to flick between levels on a building, for instance. So it's a lot easier there. I think the squad size limits have changed to be less units, but I'm not 100% sure if that was just for the preview or if that will be staying. One of the features that I thought I would hate about this game is the shaky, action camera that a lot of games have, like Skyrim, where you'll be hacking a dude, and then all of a sudden it's like a shot of your dude with his knives cutting the enemy's throat in half, and it's like, the heck is this? Why is this rat still biting me? Why can I not move? But yeah, in this one, it's just like there. I thought I would hate it, but it really increases like the aptitude of what you're seeing, and I think it's because it's turn-based that it fits better instead of real-time where you're gonna get killed if it's on. So that's something everybody should be looking out for and checking out the preview for all of my impressions.
Okay.
Be a lot more detailed than what I just said.
So what happens to a first-person shooter reboot? What became of that?
I have no idea, nor do I care.
It's still coming out, but it got delayed until 2013 again.
This reminds me of a time when they released a first-person shooter for Command and Conquer. Does anyone remember that?
That was a good game. I liked that game.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So,
I like
have an open mind there, Link. Maybe you'll like this one too.
Well, it is made by the guys who did Wait, is it done by the guys who did Bioshock?
Mm.
Who knows?
I'm not sure.
I think it's the same publisher, so I don't know. I'm just excited for the tactical strategy version. So
Yes.
yes. Okay, next article.
Actually, no.
What?
There's... Okay, go on, sorry.
Next article: Anarchy Reigns delayed indefinitely in North America and Europe by Travis.
Yeah, this one's a little strange because we've been writing about this, and like Platinum Games and Sega in Japan have been releasing a whole bunch of stuff like screenshots, trailers, character reveals, things like that for the past couple of weeks and months. But Sega in America hasn't said a damn thing about the game. They showed it at E3 last year, and they did like 2 trailers over the past year, and that's it. And the game's supposed to come out in like a month and a week.
Is this the game that's got something to do with Bayonetta?
Yes, Bayonetta's in Japan. Bayonetta's a pre-order bonus character. They didn't say, but obviously Sega hasn't said a thing about Anarchy Reigns in America. And then now, earlier this week, Platinum Games wrote on their little blog that the United States and European release date, which was supposed to be for July 5th, or actually July 3rd, because we were supposed to get it before Japan, has been changed just to be confirmed. And this is obviously a little weird because even Platinum Games themselves have said that the game is finished, localized, and like 100%. Like if you were to go to their studio, they could hand you a full working game in English. But some reason Sega chose not to do anything like that.
This is pretty sus by Sega.
Like on that note, there's been some weird signs lately with regards to Platinum and Sega. So first they canceled Bayonetta 2. I mean, I'm not sure if that really happened, but that's something else that's been floating about.
I believe that was just rumored.
Yeah,
wasn't it? I'm not sure.
I don't know. It's like
I was just excited to play another game with Jack from Mad World in it because I love Jack. It's amazing.
It would be strange though if honestly if the game is like complete and in English, it'd be very weird to be like we're not releasing this now, even though they had to have paid Platinum Games to do the localization effort and all that other stuff. Well, so why? And this whole thing is it doesn't even make sense either because there's no games of that genre coming out. Because there's always been times like, oh, we're delaying our game, just so it doesn't release around other games.
Wait, so is it delayed or fully cancelled? What's the situation?
It's been instead of getting an actual delay, it's just been to be announced basically release date.
So pretty much.
But that's strange. From how do you have a game that's 100% complete and ready to ship, and then you delay it indefinitely?
Doesn't appear to be any reasoning.
No, this has happened before in history. What game was this? It was some Nintendo RPG. I can't remember now, where it was fully localized, but never. Oh, the first Earthbound game, which is known as Earthbound 0. I remember for the NES, they had fully localized and translated and ready to ship, but then it got cancelled. It was one of the strangest things that
I don't understand why, honestly.
Let's go back to Bayonetta. How well did that sell in the States?
In Europe, for that matter. I don't know.
I think it did fairly decent.
It was a brilliant game.
I know it was like critically acclaimed. Like everybody loved the game, but I'm not sure how the.
Did it make it to the Platinum Collection?
What I think it is, it's Bayonetta did pretty well. It's Vanquish that didn't, or I don't think Vanquish is the one that sold it as well as Sega.
Vanquish was horrible though.
Isn't that just the game where you roll around everywhere all the time?
The gameplay that was
Japanese
brilliant.
Gears of War.
Yeah,
but you roll everywhere. I remember playing that game, and all I remember was just, "Hey, I'm rolling around. Look at me roll! Look at me!"
Maybe they're like delaying it because they want to set up a more physical way of distributing it. Because wasn't this supposed to be a download only game?
No, it was supposed to come out to stores like retail.
You sure?
I don't know. This is very peculiar that they would do this. I don't know what's.
I don't know. We have to consider how well did Vanquish and Bayonetta do for the company, or
Vanquish did shit. It did shithouse completely. Bayonetta, I think, was somewhat successful. Somewhat. I don't think it was a massive hit, but it sold well enough, but not, enough that they would.
I'm pretty sure Mad World did too well on the Wii.
If the game's
I think Mad World did okay, but the game's completed. I mean, they would never have approached Platinum Games for localization in the first place if those games didn't sell well. So I really don't know why they chose now to say, oh, we're gonna delay it for
It-
a while.
Even if they delay it, I mean, they're not going to make a return on their investment until they actually put it out. So it's a dead
what other
end.
Unless
games
so,
do they got?
Maybe
maybe they're
coming out?
waiting for something like at E3, like some big reveal. Like
Well,
they're gonna try
E3
to
is
do something at
E3
it.
is
Who
not
knows?
long away now,
Yeah.
is it?
No.
Yeah. Well, let's see. Anarchy Reigns was supposed to come out on July 3rd,
Yeah.
and there's like the only other games that are coming out on that date is Test Drive Ferrari, which is a racing game, and Theatrhythm Final Fantasy, which is a
Yeah, that was
music
about
game.
to ask.
3DS.
Does it have competition? I don't think so.
None.
Nah.
Unless they're
I
worried
got a
about
question
Lollipop
for you guys.
Chainsaw.
I got a question
The
for you
next,
guys. When does okay, what other games does Sega have coming out like in the next few months?
in the U.S., they have like Rhythm Thief comes out in July, but that's already been out actually in
Do
other
they have
parts
any games coming out that they think should they put better use of their money in advertising or whatever shit,
What
you
about
know?
the Aliens game? Did they ever release
The
that?
London 2012 Olympics comes out like the week before that, but
I
that's
don't know.
kind of
This is a very strange situation. It doesn't
Yeah,
seem to have any logic behind it.
it is
the
very logical
Aliens
behind.
game got delayed till 2013 too.
Wow. Okay. Well, that's rules that out.
No idea, but
Yeah.
Seems like Sega. It seems like a funding thing, and it sounds like they just need to make a bigger budget for marketing, and maybe that's what it is. So,
could be.
hopefully.
We'll probably see more about it at E3 if they're gonna.
I know that's definitely going to be a question I'm going to ask them. And well, we
Yeah.
are
Oh
there.
yes, you're gonna be heading to E3, aren't you, Travis?
Yep.
Cool.
So E3 starts on June 5th, and I'll be right there on the floor.
Alright, guys.
Here
So,
reporting from
yes,
sad distance of Australia.
yes, yes.
Mhm.
Alright, so it's time to move on to our next segment called What We've Been Playing.
Oh really?
Now, this is obviously the section where we talk about one or two of our gaming highlights for the week. And yeah, so Luke,
Oh.
what have you been playing this week?
Oh okay. Hold on a second.
Oh god.
Anyone got any guesses what that is?
Mario
Destroy it.
Tennis.
Yes, yes.
Interesting.
I've been playing Mario Tennis Open for the Nintendo 3DS. I am in the process of playing it for my review of it, and it's quite a good game. It's not a whole lot different from what we've seen in the past with Mario Tennis games. In fact, it's pretty damn similar. There's not a lot.
Damn similar, eh?
Yeah, the multiplayer aspect is fun, but it's hard to find people online. Strangely enough, not a lot to say about it. It's pretty much just the same sort of thing we've seen before from the Mario Tennis. There's no real great room for improvement. The thing's pretty much as good as it can be. And the whole multiplayer is probably the reason why people will be buying it. And hopefully more people will buy it, so then I can actually get into a match online without it taking several minutes to find someone. But,
Hmm.
yes,
Does the tennis ball look nice in 3D?
somewhat. I actually don't like using the 3D on my 3DS, believe it or not.
Same
think-
here.
I think it's
I
because
love the 3D.
I wear glasses and it just bothers me. I don't know what it is. I think it just hurts my brain and face, neck,
And your face, yeah.
and
That's serious, man.
eyeballs, and
I have a perfect
My arse.
mind and eyeballs, so the 3DS does not affect me at all.
oh, is that so?
It's good to know, Link.
Yep. I am just more perfect than you guys.
He's perfect.
Yes.
Picture perfect. Yeah, that's all I've been playing. You know me, I hardly ever play games
Mm.
because I just don't play games all too much.
Alright.
I am a game journalist.
Yes, game journalists
That's
don't
how
play
it is,
games.
man.
Dustin! Dustin! What have you been playing?
Yes.
Dust in time.
Just in time. Yes, that's a witty comeback.
And just incredible.
Okay. I have been playing a little bit, or a few different games. I guess the first one would be Sega Vintage Classics, Alex Kidd and Company.
Interesting.
And it
Yawn.
has, I believe it's Alex Kidd and Mirage Land.
Yawn.
I want to say Mirage Land, and if it's Miracle Land, I'm really wrong. But that's actually a decent game. I haven't got too far because I absolutely suck at it. If
It's
you
a
haven't
tough
ever
game.
played Alex Kidd, you just play as a little freakishly big-headed kid who punches everything.
Isn't he a monkey?
I hate Alex Kidd
Is
with
he?
a
I thought
vengeance.
Alex Kidd was a frog.
No, he's a monkey.
No, he's not a frog.
What?
Um,
I'm telling you now, he is a frog.
I'm telling you
is he
now,
a
he's
frog?
annoying, and I hate that game. La la.
He's a kid.
I'm
Yeah,
looking
you
this
did.
up right now because I'm telling you, Alex Kidd was a frog.
Oh my! Oh wow!
He was a douchebag, okay?
Oh no, he looks like a monkey actually.
Yep.
He is a monkey.
Just remember,
Who
we
is
are
the-
gaming
Who is the
journalists.
frog? Who's the frog?
Well, then don't worry about the frog.
You
The
might-
frog was in Chrono Trigger.
You might be thinking of Slippy Toad from Star
No.
Fox.
I know
This
those.
compilation also features Revenge of Shinobi, which is Revenge of Shinobi. I mean, you either played it or you love it or hate it. It's
Shinobi
Revenge of
was pretty
Shinobi.
cool.
Wasn't this the second game in the Shinobi series on the Mega Drive?
Okay, I believe so.
Shinobi.
I heard that game
Now-
introduced a lot of the more modern conventions for the series, which was then
Yeah.
carried on to the highly excellent Shinobi 3.
Ah.
And
About
the
as
next,
modern as they were back in the 90s.
the next
Yeah.
game is actually the most impressive out of the lot, and it's a big surprise for me anyway. And that is actually Super Hang On, which is an amazing arcade port of the classic game. I don't know if any of you remember the big motorcycles that you had to get on in the arcade.
No,
Yes.
I'll agree with Dustin here. This was one of the first games I had on my Sega Mega Drive. It was this
I actually
cartridge that
remember
had columns and hang on.
Hang
Hang
on.
on.
Often
is
those games were.
I've never heard
Hang
of
on
this
is-
game.
It's just a real fast paced go into the end racing game with motorcycles. And that's pretty much all or dirt bikes, whatever. I'm not into the
I
whole
actually remember
pic-
seeing that in the arcades around here.
Ah,
I think they
this
actually
game.
until the closest Chuck E. Cheese updated itself, they actually still had a version of this game there.
Horrible name.
And the second game I've been playing, I've been playing a little bit of or is it Monster? It's the other Vintage Classic series. I'm not really been reviewing that one, but I've been playing the Monster World series a little bit, which is decent. I'm just getting into that a little bit, but otherwise it's been all Minecraft this week. So
Wow.
Crafting
Dude, you
mines.
gotta leave that world that is known
Yes.
as Minecraft.
No.
Dig a hole and dig it out of Minecraft.
Yes.
no.
Build a ladder out of the sky.
I've got so much to build right now. I'm starting to build my city now. I got my house done, so my
Who's living
city's
in there?
starting.
Build
just
yourself
me.
a bomb and blow up your entire fucking Minecraft place, and then
Yeah.
you'll be too sad to even bother rebuilding.
Just TNT
Ironically,
everything.
you can TNT everything.
You could, but if someone did that, if someone griefed me, I would, yeah, it would be pretty devastating.
You would quit the game. Let's jump on Minecraft, destroy Dustin's town, and save his life.
Yep.
No,
Alright,
It's a
Yes,
mystery we even got you on this podcast.
I know.
no, I'm not that addicted. I haven't played as
Huh.
much as you think.
Huh.
Think
But-
it right
Huh.
now.
Alright,
But I have been very much enjoying it. So
next person to tell us about what they've been playing is Travis Bruner. The Travis.
Hey, I've been splitting my time between two RPGs of very different types. One
Uh-huh.
is Dragon's Dogma, which is from the aforementioned Capcom, which we just love so much around here, and Atelier Meruru from NIS America. One is a Japanese developed but Western style action RPG, and the other one's about as classic JRPG as you can get.
See, the problem I have with Atelier is there have been so many games now. It's almost like Call of Duty for Japan.
Well, it's not really like Call of Duty at all. I mean, I don't know how you can compare the two of them.
I'm
Especially
talking about
their
the
release
frequency of
schedule.
the release cycle. Yeah.
Well, right, but
Actually, yeah.
they've been updating at least the storylines and the characters. Like each time, there's new main characters and enjoyable storylines. And as much as I love it, though, it does have a bunch of repetitive feeling from the last game because it does have like a decent amount of the main characters from the second game return from Totori,
Mm.
and it still uses the the time limit structure. We only have about 3 or so years. But they've added a couple of new elements, like you can actually build cities, develop the countryside to help your alchemy out and a few other things.
So it's like Dark
Which
Cloud.
something they never let you do before. Not that in depth.
Is it like Dark
And-
Cloud?
That's what
No.
it said.
Ah.
And Dragon's Dogma, on the other hand, I mean, say what you want about Capcom, but that one is actually an amazing RPG. Like the fighting in it is probably the best fighting RPG combat I've seen. It outsurpasses Skyrim. At least as far
Anything
as combat
surpasses
goes.
Skyrim in terms of combat.
Yep.
Oblivion surpasses Skyrim in terms of combat.
I was
That
a
was
big
the
fan
game
of
before.
Skyrim's fighting, but Dogma takes the cake on that. I mean, there's just every fight you're in feels exciting and like it could happen differently. I mean, right now I'm on the new game plus mode, so it's not as exhilarating because oh look, I'm fighting monsters at a level 15 while I'm level 50. It's not exactly the new game plus doesn't really buff up the enemies, but before that it was exhilarating almost no matter what you fight, let alone when you're fighting some giant monster.
Cool.
Sounds rad.
Yep, something to look out for when it comes out over here. Jahan, Zeb, Khan.
hmm
I hear you play video games sometimes.
Yeah, it's something you have to do as journalists, or we lose our jobs.
Yes.
All right, so Dustin's been playing this as well. It's not Minecraft, by the way. It's Wonder Boy Collection, and this is another one of those Sega Vintage collections. It's going to be coming out.
Wait, is Wonder Boy the frog?
No.
Oh.
So
Sure,
I've been
it's
playing. I'll be reviewing that collection, and it'll probably be up by the time you hear this podcast. So,
Okay.
anywho, what's really great about this collection is you finally get to play Monster World 4. Now, this game was originally released in Japan many years ago, and it recently saw a port on the Wii as a WiiWare title, fully translated. But now, PlayStation 3 and Xbox owners can enjoy this game. I believe it's definitely worth getting the collection just to play Monster World 4. Amazing graphics, great music, smooth animation. This is one of the best looking Mega Drive games ever, and it's aged really well.
Jahan, tell me real quick though, do you think the Monster World 4, if they would have released that in America back in the day, that Square would have not sued the shit out of them?
Why would they?
Look at all the Dragon Quest similarities in the characters.
I don't know. I didn't actually catch on that. It has a Middle Eastern setting with Monster World 4. Like, it takes place in a desert, and you have all these, Middle Eastern kind of characters.
Oh yeah,
Like
it's a
what?
slime with a turban. But I mean, but it's like slimes. You got your mushrooms. I forgot the exact name of them in Dragon Quest now. For some reason, it slips my mind. But it's like all those characters.
Mushroom slime.
Slime with a turban. Actually, now that you mention it, well, it's not that obvious. I mean, sure, they're a bit similar in that regard, but it's not like a blatant ripoff. Like,
But
I don't know, PlayStation
it's still very
All-Stars
good. But even when I first seen the screenshots for when I was covering the Wii version, the first thing I thought was, oh wow, this looks a lot like Dragon Quest, except for like a platformer. But
and it's a really fun platformer. I mean, think
it's
of it this
pretty
way.
unforgiving too, and I like that. But it's a little unforgiving. It's like you die, you start all the way over.
Oh,
It's like,
that's one thing about these Monster World games. Once you die, it's over. But two of the games in this collection, so Wonder Boy and Monsterland and Monster World 4, they have a save system and the healing points and all that. It's like a Metroid sort of Metroid-like structure, but highly simplified. And yeah,
Metroid for noobs.
Yeah, pretty much. But it is challenging, especially Wonder Boy and Monster World, and the original Wonder Boy. That's a really hard game, and that was an arcade-only release. And it was still an RPG. You still had equipment and magic spells and all that, but it was an arcade game. You had to insert coins and whatever. So that was a very interesting kind of design, a very arcadey kind of RPG. And on the subject of whether Square would have sued them back in the day, I mean Nintendo hasn't sued Sony yet for PlayStation All Star, so who cares? It wouldn't have it.
As soon as it goes to shelf, they're getting their asses sued.
Yep.
Alright, so I suppose I should let everybody know what I've been playing this week.
Yeah,
Me.
go ahead.
What have I been playing? Fortunately, I've had a little bit of time to play some Quake Live, which, as everybody knows, is a first-person shooter by id Software, where they take Quake 3 and they make it online and free to play. So it's pretty awesome.
ID Software.
It's id Software. id.
Okay.
And also, I'm writing the review for this currently. Well, not currently, because, we're doing this and you'd have typing all through it. But Alan Wake's American Nightmare.
For the PC?
For the PC.
So good.
It's interesting how quickly they've ported both the original Alan Wake and American Nightmare.
Well, they came out on the Xbox, which has pretty much the same architecture as a PC, so it would have taken them like 30 seconds really to adapt it.
The original Alan Wake is like such fucking underrated, underappreciated.
So how much do you like Mr. Scratch? Is it
Mr. Dark Alan Wake, Mr. Scratch?
Yes.
He's
Awesome
pretty menacing. I like the way they build up his character in that. Like most villains in games, they don't bother building, but in this, even though it's like an incredibly short game, I've only played it for like 3 hours and I've already beaten it. But they put a lot of characterization and like character stuff into that for Mr. Scratch, where you'll be playing it and you'll see like a TV somewhere and you're like, oh yeah, it's just a TV, so what happens? And then you got like him, cutting into some guy or playing around with his gun collection or taunting you for no reason whatsoever. It just really adds to like the level of menace that this bad guy has. So that's something I quite enjoyed about him.
Alan Wake, brilliant.
It is.
Game.
It's brilliantly written. It's written like, I don't know. It feels like an episode of a TV show.
Yeah,
it's
it's like
have you played the original?
No.
You need to go buy it. It's only $20.
That's
I think I said this the other day to go and buy it. It's only like $20.
I will once I have no more games left to review.
So just get the PC version.
I am going to.
Better.
I will.
So here's a good thing. So if no one has played the original Alan Wake, they can still enjoy American Nightmare.
Yes, it's an incredibly standalone, self-contained sort of story.
Okay.
It's a completely different episode of the TV show that they have in that, which is like Alice Springs TV or something. It is actually Night Springs, the TV show.
You know what? I'll actually pick it up after this podcast.
Really?
Yep.
It's an incredibly short game. I think it's also incredibly cheap to buy, so you're not really, you're not forking out, $60 for a game that with like 2.5 hours of content. It is actually very, very significantly cheaper, so, all the more reason to pick it up.
Luke, are you going to pick it up with me?
Yes, I might get it. I'm
Cool.
interested in it.
It's well worth it. It is definitely, and I'd like to see more of this type of kind of small games for the Alan Wake series until we get a sequel. I know that's a lot to ask, but that'd be nice.
Actually, I have on the subject of Alan Wake. This is a question for Travis. Are you there, Travis?
Yes. Yes. What's
Have
up?
you played Alan Wake and Silent Hill Downpour?
I've done both of those, yeah.
How similar are they? Because I've been hearing that those two games are quite similar, and that if you enjoyed Alan Wake, you'll enjoy Silent Hill Downpour, even though a lot of fans don't enjoy this new Silent Hill.
Well, I can see why fans wouldn't be enjoying the new Silent Hill, but they are kind of similar. Obviously, like the tone is kind of similar, but not very. I mean, honestly, I don't see a whole lot of similarities besides the fact they both involve water in a little. I mean, Alan Wake's based around the pond. I mean, Because
Quite
the enemies are all different. There's not even like the same setup at all. Because in Alan Wake, you're searching for your wife, who I shouldn't spoil anything, but you're searching for your wife. And then in Downpour, it all revolves around his child.
Oh, that's
Little
searching
bit of
for
spoiler
someone.
right there. Yeah, they're searching for someone, but I mean, if you could relate that to every other Silent Hill game then too.
Are they similar,
'Cause
like
they've
in
all been.
pacing and structure, like gameplay wise?
Mm, little bit, yeah. I mean, you get ammo's a little bit scarce, and you use weapons to use weapons, but the weapons degrade. I mean, you'll like it. I like the game, but and I loved Alan Wake. But if you had to pick between the two, I'd definitely probably go for Alan Wake instead.
Or Deadly Premonition. There you go.
No,
There you go. Deadly
no,
Premonition.
no.
Alright, so yep, that's it for me.
Alright. So guys, we're going to be taking a short break, and then we'll be back with our random discussion topic, reviews, game share, and outro.
Oh, really?
So see you all when we get back.
No, we
The
won't.
break starting now.
That's not.
Yeah. I'm gonna get such a fucking throat without leaving a trace. With I wanted, have a ninja star stuck in your face. Then a ninja got in here residing with the sword in your back. Only a ninja with the skills will have you bleeding like that. Motherfucker, I'm dangerous, spontaneous, and there ain't nobody gonna handle this. I don't give a fuck, man. I'm serious, shit, I'm outraged and I'm furious. My motherfucking skills will have you bleeding in fear. You let me spell it out for you and make it perfectly clear. Ninja Gaiden, this stupid stuff, and I don't mess with I ain't lying. Ain't no place annihilating them all. Ninja Gaiden, this stupid stuff, and I don't mess with I ain't lying. Ain't no place annihilating them all. We don't knock you over, we don't blow to your face. Kill the enemies without leaving a trace. Then a ninja Gaiden here residing with this sword in your back. Only a ninja with the skills will have you bleeding like that. Motherfucker, I'm full of hate and there's no debating. You know I'm gonna retaliate. I won't hesitate, I'll annihilate. I'll leave a creep up while you masturbate. My motherfucking skills will have you bleeding in fear. Here, let me spell it out for you and make it perfectly clear. Ninja Gaiden, this stupid stuff, and I don't mess with I ain't lying. Ain't no place annihilating them all. Ninja Gaiden, this stupid stuff, and I don't mess with I ain't lying. Ain't no place annihilating them all. Ninja Gaiden, this stupid stuff, and I don't mess with I ain't lying. Ain't no place annihilating them all. Ninja Gaiden, this stupid stuff, and I don't mess with I ain't lying. Ain't no place annihilating them all.
And we are back from our break. Welcome us back by cheering at your computer screen like madmen and
Yeah.
women.
Your iPhone, whatever you're listening to this on. Cheer!
Yes.
Go! Cheer now! Go on.
Do it. We can't hear.
Woo!
Can't hear them. That was
No.
you, Jahan. I heard that. Don't be a sneaky prick.
Yeah. Okay, so this week's random discussion topic is multiplayer really necessary for most games?
Fuck no.
No.
Yeah,
Fuck
no.
I hate
to
people.
the no.
And there we have it. Our topic.
No, you know, okay, now let's talk about it seriously.
Yeah.
I honestly think this is a problem that we're getting with a lot of games these days. The developers try and tack on multiplayer because, you know, then they can put out DLC, downloadable content packs for this, that, yada, yada, yada. And it just seems like there's no real single player only experiences out there anymore. And the ones that are very few and far between, like Alan Wake, for example, is an excellent single player only game.
Yep.
We mentioned it before. Absolutely excellent game. But there's so many games out there that just have multiplayer tacked on for really no particular reason. Like there was BioShock 2, which
Yeah,
had
I was gonna jump
absolutely
in with.
horrible. I think that's the a very good example because a bit more recent. Well, not too recent, but still in recent memory. BioShock's a game that should not have had multiplayer at all. And I think the single player in BioShock 2 suffered because of it, because they actually didn't spend enough time on the single player. And both multiplayer and single player turned out to be pretty damn shit.
Yeah,
Very much.
it was a fairly average game for
Yeah.
a game
I
that
don't-
came from such an amazing game before it. Most of the time, sequels are better than
Yes,
the
because they
first game.
improved upon the first game by doing taking the fan
See,
feedback.
here's a weird thing. I know people who say 2 is a better game in terms of gameplay than the first one, and I never got that. And I'm glad you guys agree that the first BioShock was an amazing single player
The
experience.
first Bioshock
It
game
was.
was a brilliant game. I think it's a classic, a modern classic, but Bioshock 2 was just absolutely terrible. I think it was a massive step backwards for the series.
Did
But
you feel that the gameplay mechanics were a lot better in 2?
not at all, not at all. I think they were kind of a bit more, as I said, a step back. I think
Hmm.
a lot of it was just really, the whole game felt very half-baked, in my opinion.
Link, your thoughts?
I don't know. I was just really thinking, what about like games like Mass Effect, where the
Why is Mass
multiplayer,
Effect
a lot
multiplayer?
of people are, saying that the multiplayer is good, but when you look at the
Doesn't
ending for that game, it really starts to feel like, the budget went from the storyline to the multiplayer, and that's what really impacted some of the story elements in that game.
Can I say something here? Mass Effect did not need to have multiplayer. I don't think Mass Effect was a game that anyone thought, oh man, I wish that game had multiplayer. I really think that is just such bullshit. I think the
Yeah,
biggest problem is, go Dustin.
yeah. I mean, from someone, I actually really, on defense of the multiplayer, I actually really like it. I think they implemented it well. I mean, it's not competitive. It's just literally you and someone else teaming up to go up against a bunch of bots, and it's just survival mode.
Is
It's
it
simple.
necessary, a necessary addition though?
It's not necessary at all, and that's one thing that I see. I didn't hate my experience in Mass Effect 3 whatsoever. So,
Yeah.
or my in my eyes, I seen it as a nice little add-on. My problem with the whole scheme of the DLC thing is, or not DLC, but as far as the extra multiplayer goes, you have all these games that come out, and the multiplayer is completely useless. It does not offer one benefit at whatsoever. It does not tie in at all to the game. And it's like the guy from the or Bethesda, whenever they were doing Skyrim, they said that they would not put it tack in a multiplayer. But the reason why I feel like Mass Effect 3 has multiplayer to start with is because of the fact that EA needed an excuse to put an online pass on that game.
Yeah, they need an
Yeah.
excuse to get more money
Exactly.
out of you. Exactly. That's the thing. Like, okay, look back just one generation ago, the GameCube, Xbox, whatever. There was online multiplayer games. There was multiplayer games, but there was a lot of games that were just single player only, and you would just play that single player storyline or whatever. And you would have a very enjoyable experience, and you didn't need to play with other people to have fun. But
Exactly.
I think nowadays we're getting, because there's such a strong online community, and I think a lot of developers and publishers are just seeing dollar signs in multiplayer aspect. They're just throwing it in, even though a lot of these games and a lot of these franchises are not built to have a multiplayer aspect, and it's just sad. It
Yeah.
really is sad. There's some games that it works okay in. Like, I never thought Assassin's Creed, for example, should have a multiplayer, but when it did, I enjoyed it a lot, and it made sense. But at first, I did not think it did at all. BioShock, as we mentioned before, is a game that never looked like it should have multiplayer, and as it proves, it should not have had
Okay, here's
multiplayer.
what annoys me. Platformers. A lot of these new platforms that are coming out these days of are somewhat forcing multiplayer on sort of gamers.
Mm.
The new Mario Brothers, Donkey Kong,
Mm.
Rayman Origins. That annoyed me the most. And even the new Sonic. How do you guys feel about the whole
Well,
multiplayer in
let me say,
platformers?
Rayman Origins, I don't believe, has an online multiplayer component, but the offline one was actually, it was kind of fun. It wasn't too, it didn't bother me too greatly, but I don't
Local
know, I just don't
multiplayer
think
is always something that should be a plus. Like if you can
local
include
multiplayer
local
is good.
multiplayer, then that's fine.
Online multiplayer for me is kind of a, in certain genres, it can be a bit of a problem. because okay, say you're playing a platforming game online with someone else. So okay, their internet drops or something. What happens then?
You get owned by the
Yeah.
AI.
It's uh,
Man,
it's
what really did multiplayer really well? Sonic 2, pick up multiplayer. Just you
Yeah.
have a friend come over, they pick up the second player controller, and then they're Tails. And
Yeah.
if you're playing solo and they walked off, Tails AI would kick back in after a few minutes.
Yeah, and the weird good thing about that design was that multiplayer wasn't essential to the design,
No,
but yet it was seamless. It fits in seamlessly into the whole game structure. It was still about you controlling Sonic, but the
see,
multiplayer was there. It worked really well, but it wasn't necessary.
there was something last year. I can't remember exactly who it was, but some developer came out last year and said something like, "Oh, a game can't be successful anymore in this generation
without
without
multiplayer.
without
Yeah.
multiplayer." I think Skyrim is a very good example of that being completely bullshit.
Even though Skyrim sucked pretty bad.
Yeah, well, Skyrim was successful. Is the point I'm trying to
I
make?
love Skyrim, so
It was very
viewers
successful.
at home, he does not mean it.
Yeah.
I do mean it.
Skyrim was very successful, and it was a single player only experience. And that's the thing. That's the thing I'm trying to say. Sometimes playing by yourself and just allowing yourself to be immersed in this experience can be so much more enjoyable than if you have to deal with other people online, like complete strangers who just only. There's sometimes people that just fuck up the experience for you. Like,
Griefers.
but what was that? Sorry.
Griefers. That's what they're called.
Yep.
Yep. It's just, I just think, and I absolutely hate. I think maybe we mentioned this last podcast. I can't remember. Maybe I'm mixing things up, but I hate games that force multiplayer on gamers. Like, one thing that pissed me off about Battlefield 3 is that whenever I'd try and just play it, it would constantly try and get me to sign on to Xbox Live and try and get me to log into the multiplayer aspect, and a whole bunch of prompts would pop up trying to push the multiplayer, and I just wanted to play the single player. I know it's Battlefield, and Battlefield.
Why would
always-
you want to play Battlefield 3 single player?
Well,
It's
I
pretty
had only
atrocious
got the
game.
game, and I wanted to play it. I just wanted to play it. Battlefield 3 single player proved to be completely shit, so
Yeah.
it kind of understands why they're pushing the multiplayer. Because
What
it's
about
like-
all those
work-
games that not only push the multiplayer aspect, even though it's a single player game, but over 60% of the achievements are for the multiplayer aspect?
That's such bullshit. And the thing is, in say a 10 years time, these games will be pretty much you won't be able to 100% complete it. They'll be incompletable. Yeah, worthless.
Especially
in the
when
end,
you got
because-
companies like EA shutting down online servers every few
yeah,
years.
after 1 year or something. What was it? One of those sports games. They shut the thing down after friggin' only 1 year.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, you got to go buy the next one. Cheers. Just, it's just such
Yeah.
complete shit. EA is one of the biggest offenders in just throwing multiplayer in out of fucking nowhere.
On that note, this Demon Souls, for a long time they've been mentioning how they're gonna shut down the servers soon, but now they've said, the servers are still gonna be up for that game in the foreseeable future. So, and that's meant to be an RPG.
Sequel to the game made by now already. So
You see, it has a sad thing, even today we can still enjoy games like, Final Fantasy IV, Chrono Trigger, even
These
as...
games are timeless. They're timeless
Retro.
because they don't have
Look at
these.
Demon Souls and Dark Souls. 10 years from now, you probably won't be able to enjoy them because the servers are no longer supported.
That's the thing.
And
they're
that's
putting
why, I feel like in
dates on
10 years' time, the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 are going to be almost completely obsolete. I mean, there's still going to be games you can play, like the single player only games like Bayonetta, stuff like that we talked about. But as far as if you look at the Wii, look what Nintendo have at least done. Some people could argue it's successes, but you have there's nothing that can stop you at all from just going right in and just playing whatever game and getting the full game, because Nintendo did not dwell on trying to monetize their market.
Exactly, because That's the right thing to do in the end.
Like, can you
'cause-
imagine what happened to Diablo 3 if Battle.net ceased to exist? Can you imagine?
Yeah, like that's really bad on Blizzard's part. Like making a single player game entirely reliant on the multiplayer aspect of it. It's like, hey guys, here's this great single player experience here. Oh, by the way, people can jump in on your single player campaign anytime they want. Oh yeah, and not only that, you have to log in using your multiplayer Battle.net account just so you can access the single player portion. We love you, fans. Please suck our penises.
I think that sums it up.
They are such cunts.
They are.
Such absolute cunts. Fuck yous. Fuck yous so fucking much, you fuckers. You
Yeah.
fucking bitch.
From now on, whenever somebody brings up multiplayer or DLC or having to be online, I'm just gonna quote Luke right there.
Yes. Fuck you all. Fuckers.
Well, that sums up that discussion.
Yeah.
We
Anyone
can't
else have any
add more
summaries
to
they're
that?
gonna put up there, or?
Well,
Nope.
I don't know. I feel there are times where I feel like multiplayer is needed and essential. Not essential. It's a great component to have, definitely. I mean, especially online multiplayer, it's a lot of fun to everyone goes on. You can play Quake Live without multiplayer. I mean, there's times where it's essential to play or to have multiplayer, but I think the main point of the whole argument is that you don't need single player games do not need booster enhancements just to get them to sell.
Mm,
And Skyrim's a perfect example of that.
yes.
Fuck
Travis.
all the companies that don't believe that, and fuck all the companies that tack it on just to make more money, and screw the consumers. Fuck you all.
Yeah. Travis, any kind of summary?
Say,
Hmm.
tell them to get fucked.
Yes, go get fucked.
Yo,
I
Jahan.
think Travis is correct in this statement.
Yes. Jahan, do you have a summary?
Briskets are better than online multiplayer.
Yes. That is something we can agree on.
Oh, I'm interested in these briskets now.
And you all heard from me on my summary. Blizzard can suck my dick. Alright. So we should probably move on to our next segment, which is reviews. Yay! And kicking it off with our first review from Joshua Morris, who isn't with us right now. Diablo 3, a game whose opinion you probably do not want mine on.
Did we just tell them to go suck a dick?
Yeah.
Can I
think
just
that's
say
all we
something
can
about
say about
Diablo
Diablo
3?
here.
Well, what did Josh give the game?
I will tell you when the second page loads. He managed to write like 10,000 words on it, which is kind of strange. 9.5 out of 10.
I'm sorry, Josh, but I've got to say, fuck Blizzard, fuck Diablo 3,
Fuck them
and
all.
yeah, I think it's the whole online situation is just a no go for me.
Yeah.
I would not. Well, I'm sure the game itself is good, and but there's that online shit, man. It's just a no go.
Why didn't they just do it the same way they did it with fucking Diablo 1 and Diablo 2, where it's like, here's the single player, you can do whatever the fuck you want. It's not going to affect anyone. We don't give a shit about what you call your character, whether you use cheats or hacks or whatever. Just play it the way you want to play it, have fun with it. But if you're going to play on our servers, then we're going to make you log in and restrict your name and stuff like that, simply because we don't want other players ruined by your assholery. That is perfectly
yeah.
acceptable. Now, why the online onlyness of what is pretty much a single player game and can be completed solo even while doing it online?
Let me ask you a question. How is Blizzard using this to their advantage to make money off this? Sure, that's why they've done it.
Probably because you can access the auction house, probably, where you can buy and sell for real money.
Of
I
course.
actually heard somebody's theory on the online auction house while I was at the XCOM event. One of the PR guys, or maybe it might have been another reviewer, I'm not sure. But he basically said, how do we know that the auction house is even run by players for real money? It could just be Blizzard posting up items to get players to spend real money on their game.
Wouldn't surprise me.
What was his
I wouldn't
answer?
put past
Her
Blizz.
answer.
What?
What was the answer?
That was his answer.
That's just his theory that he
Yeah.
thinks this guy thinks that Blizzard's not. I don't know. apparently a good game according to Josh Morris, but the whole online shit's just
Yep, I will never
Luke,
know.
I know you
Deal
haven't been
breaker.
playing this game, Luke, but someone close to you has been playing Diablo 3.
yeah.
How
My
has
brother,
his or her experience been?
okay, it's my brother who's been playing this game, and
Hmm.
he likes the game. He does, but he also really fucking hates the whole online thing because he's been disconnected several times, like for one reason or another, and he can't. He's playing single player. I'm not playing single player anymore because the whole internet's fucked, and he's been kicked off, and he's been angry because he can't play a game that, by all rights, he should be able to play.
What about
And
these people who pay for this, in 20 years' time, and they're not going to be able to play it at all?
no, they're not going to. It's just such stupid shit.
Short-term horizons.
That's the problem with. I know we're going back onto the whole topic we were just talking about before a bit, but I think a lot of these companies don't think long term, and a lot of these games are not going to age well at all because a lot of them won't even be playable in like 10 years time, and that's really fucking sad. Because when you look back at like these past generations, we can all go back and play those games. None of those games are unplayable right now.
Exactly. Even
And
the NES games, you can play them right now.
yeah, I could go and grab an NES game, just whack it in and play it. No fucking
Whack
worries.
it in.
Yeah, whack it in, man, whack it. But
Yeah.
I can't do that with these games that we're playing now in 10 years time. I know for a fact we won't be able to. Like a lot of the servers will be shut off. These games that rely heavily on online components will pretty much be just a worthless thing sitting on my shelf that cannot be used at all. Most of them I'll probably have sold off by then for a very small amount of money. But it's just sad. I don't know, it's just sad to see the industry going to this direction.
Alright, well, we should probably move on to our next review, rather than
That wasn't
dwelling
even a
on...
review we just did
Yeah.
just then. Jesus Christ, what's wrong with this?
Our next review that came up this week is for Sniper Elite version 2, written by David Christensen, who is also not with us on this
Oh yeah,
podcast.
Davo spoke to me a little bit about this one.
Did
Apparently
he?
you can shoot cunts in the testicles and you actually see the testicle explode.
Wait, if it's a cunt, how does it have a testicle?
Oh, you know the... Okay, you got me. You shoot guys in the testicles. Guys, sorry for my vulgarity,
Yes.
not cunts. You shoot guys in the testicles, and it literally goes a kind of X-ray and shows their testicles.
Like in Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, it shows it. Yeah, in Mortal Kombat. Like in Mortal
I think
Kombat.
I'm looking at that screenshot right now.
Yes, as am I. And the testicles, bam, in gory detail, explode. Same with when you do a headshot, the head like smashed at the bits. This game it's called Sniper Elite. It's focused heavily around sniping and all that sort of stuff. When apparently it's very, very good, as David's told me. He gave it a 9 out of 10, and apparently it improves greatly over the original game, which got very bad reviews, if I remember correctly. So that's pretty good. Who did this one? Rebellion Developments, publisher 505. Yeah, it looks decent. And
Yeah.
I
Well,
don't
the
know.
first one's
What
actually
I-
considered like a cult classic anymore, though. I hear a lot of people, they have nothing but great things to say about Sniper Elite, the first one.
What I'm
Okay.
seeing when I'm looking at this is like what's going through every single camping noob's head in every first-person shooter you have
Yeah.
ever played. The guy who sits at the spawn point with a sniper rifle and occasionally hits someone and even more occasionally kills them. Like this is like a reflection of what they're seeing to me. It's like some dudes, dude, I hit that guy in the balls. They probably exploded everywhere, and then they go on and on and on about it over the microphone. And you just gotta get up and punch them in the face, but you can't because they're not next to you.
I miss the days when they were next to me. Because
Yeah.
I could punch them in the face. Shut the hell up. Shut the hell up.
It's probably a good single-player game. I would not look at this for
I
multiplayer.
don't. The thing that confuses me is how would you? What's the point of even having maps if it's just sniping? It's just like, hey, I'm at the spawn. Oh, Let's go and scope. Oh, there's a guy. Snipe. There's another guy at the other spawn point. Snipe. I don't know. I don't know how this game would work, but
That kind of feels like one of those games that has tacked on online mode.
yeah, I don't know. Oh, Dave reckons it's good. Let's take his word for it. I don't
Yeah,
know.
he says it's worth a 9 out of 10, so I'm going to shelve my I hate all sniping, camping noob attitude for the moment, and move on to our next review, which is Starhawk by Claire, who unfortunately couldn't make it today. I actually did try to get her on here.
Where'd you go, Claire? Where'd you go?
Yeah.
I wanted to
Claire.
hear your cute voice, Claire.
I haven't heard a single female voice here. It's just a join capsule.
I've been
Yeah.
trying to get them on, but I'm pretty
They
sure.
exist.
yeah.
We promise you they exist.
Yes, they do.
Claire has a very nice accent.
She
It'll
does.
probably turn a few of our listeners on.
It's better than my Egyptian accent.
And having met her in real life, I can attest to how cute she is. Okay, so
Yes, she's one of our capsule babes. If you
indeed,
Capsule honeys.
if we ever get
want to... Capsule honey.
if we ever get a calendar going, she'll be one of our calendar girls.
If we could get her into doing that. I know. She said she might be on next week, so who's the
Hmm.
next week, guys?
So, do any of you guys know about Starhawk or?
Nope.
No idea. It sounds like Star Wars, but with a hawk instead. But then
It sounds like
most
Star
stupid
Fox, but with a
fact
hawk.
Okay, well, from what I can read, I'll just read the overview out. Starhawk is a PlayStation 3 exclusive handled by the developers of God of War and Lightbox Interactive, who were behind the first game in this newly made series, Warhawk. Unlike the first game, Starhawk is technically not a multiplayer-only affair, although it's very clear that the solo campaign was far from the main focus during development. It's a third-person shooter with a sci-fi setting and a dash of real-time strategy, and it draws a lot of strength from this cocktail of genres and the chaotic gameplay that it allows. Pulling down walls mid-gunfight is a pretty fresh experience, and there's a lot of fun to be had in the numerous vehicles on call, especially the Transformer-like mechs, which switch up into jets, hawks at the push of a button.
this is very interesting.
Yeah, it does sound pretty interesting,
It's
and
a little bit like Macross then, with the transforming mechs.
I'm looking at it and yeah, kind of. It looks very interesting, this game, but I'm sad because it's exclusive to PS3 only.
yeah,
Gets me down because I refuse to buy that console.
yeah.
This
It
game
looks-
does look good.
I like.
She gave it an 8 capsules out of 10.
Yeah, I'm liking the whole like sci-fi genre and stuff in gaming, and gaming is where sci-fi is pretty prevalent at the moment. And like looking at this, it looks like a fairly good setting. It's got like I don't know, like sort of almost Western look, but with mechs and
Some I don't know why, but for some reason it looks like reminds me of Warhammer a little bit.
yeah.
Looks good.
Yep.
What's next?
Moving on, Dragon's Dogma review by
Travo.
Travis.
Which you just talked about.
I already discussed this a lot earlier, but great game. I gave an 8 out of 5, 8.5 capsules out of 10. Because despite being able to sink a lot of time into it, there are a decent amount of graphical issues.
Yeah.
Like the character models look very old. Like
Oh yeah, Travis. What platform do you play this on?
days
The Xbox or the
on the
PS3?
Xbox.
Alright, I've been hearing like the Xbox version runs a lot worse than the PS3 version.
I've heard
It's
the
usually
opposite.
the other way around.
Boobs in the character creator.
Yes, you can change the size of the character's boobs.
Okay.
Amazing. That's amazing.
And like they make you walk everywhere. Like literally, it'd be one thing if you'd walk to different places each time. But there'll be times you'll be taking like a 10-minute walk to the same exact place, like 10 times in a row almost.
Can you
Back and forth.
teleport or something?
Nope. Well, there is, but unless you get a lot of money, which you can later on in the game, but even then, you can only teleport back to the main town. So if you want to teleport to like anywhere else, you have to beat the game first, and then on your second playthrough, you can buy teleportation centers, which cost even more money. So they kind of limit you on that.
So it's a very grindy game.
Extremely grindy.
That's not for me then.
It's like a JRPG,
This
Mix.
game
It is.
looks like it
It's
takes too much
developed by.
time.
I mean, it's developed by Capcom, but in the end, Capcom is still a Japanese developer, so it is pretty much a JRPG with Western like action RPG elements.
Mm.
Alright,
So yes,
shall we move on
yes, we shall. We shall move
to
on
some
to
fun and games
our yes,
show?
yes, game show. Everybody's favorite segment,
Yes.
where it brings out not only the best of our contestants' knowledge, but the worst of their personalities.
Mine.
So this week's game
Fuck you.
show subject is name the character based on a brief description.
Oh, fuck.
Now, most of these are iconic characters, with the exception of one or two. But, yeah. So basically, everybody's buzzer will be the first letter of their name or something similar. So Luke's will be L, Travis T, Dustin D, and Jahan Seb will be J.
Mhm.
Okay. Each person who gets a score correctly will gain a point,
Yes.
and etc. The winner has the most points at the end.
Yosh!
So, are we all ready to do this?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yep.
Alright.
Me lord.
First question of the game show. Alright, first question. Wears green and carries a sword?
D.
Duh.
L.
That
Said
sounded a
L.
lot like Dustin first.
What the
Yep.
fuck? What the hell, man?
Yep,
Dustin.
that's Link.
Yes. Next question.
Piece of sh-
Wears green and wears a cap sported by an
G.
L? Dustin.
Luigi.
Yes.
What?
God damn.
Keeps asking Nintendo. Dustin's gonna
Alright.
get away with this
No, I
thing.
was-
Now they're getting harder. The first two are always the easy ones.
Sure.
The girl Jumpman saves in Donkey
L.
Kong.
No.
Fuck, what's her name? Her name isn't
D.
Peach, it's, fucking,
4,
D.
fuck's sake.
3, 2, 1.
Fuck.
J.
Dustin.
I said J.
Alright. Jahan.
Daisy.
No. Dustin.
Oh, crap. I know it. I just can't think now. Crap.
4,
Some weird ass name.
3, 2.
Rosalina?
No. Alright, I will repeat the question. Where's green? Oh wait, no. The girl
Where's
Jumpman saves in Donkey Kong.
Fuck, what's her name? Can I answer again? If I think of it?
If
Or
you
am I
see your name-
completely out? Huh?
if you
Because
see-
only Travis is left now.
Yes, only Travis is left. But you can buzz in before him still, if he doesn't buzz in. No
Ooh, Jay.
Google. No Googling at all is not allowed. You may not.
I
think it was
I
something
just don't know what
basic,
this is.
wasn't
man.
it?
Do you guys want to give up?
T.
Travis.
Lady who gets kidnapped a lot. Go with that.
I'll give you an additional clue.
J.
Jahan.
Oh, wait.
Penelope.
No, it's not the answer.
Oh, L.
Luke.
Is it like Paula or something?
Very close.
What?
Pauline.
Oh,
Yes. Jahan gets it.
Oh my fucking god. I fucking hate this game. Should make me so angry.
Thanks, Luke.
Alright, next question. Yellow and has ears.
J.
Jahan.
Pikachu.
Yes.
Fucking hell.
yellow and has ears.
Alright,
Talk about this Vegas, they fucking come.
question. Where's power armor created by Chozo?
J.
Jahan.
Actually, I didn't know the answer to that one.
L.
Luke.
Samus.
Yes.
Huh.
Okay, next question. Carries a whip and hunts
Jay.
vampires. Jahan.
Simon Belmont.
Yes.
What was this one?
Castlevania.
Okay, next question. Wears green and carries a gun.
J.
D.
Jahan.
Oh, green, huh?
Green and a
So that was
gun.
blue, sorry.
Dustin.
Or Master Chief.
Yes.
Oh.
Shit. What's the
Okay,
scores?
next question. Alright, I think Travis should know this one. Burned girl in a school filled with disabled students.
Oh, come off.
Oh,
It's
wait. I was
L. Burned girl from, what's that game? The one for disabled chicks. Is her name
You
Emmy?
can't just...
No!
God damn it.
Which one was it?
Burned girl from Town showed you.
T.
You made this,
Hanako.
only Travis could get this.
Travis.
Yeah. It's Hanako. T.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, you fucker. This is bullshit. This is absolute bullshit.
Give
You
me a
make these
question.
games with the intention of making it so I can't win.
Alright, next question. Pink puffball will eat
J.
D.
L.
D.
on.
J. Kirby.
What the heck? Are you not hearing me?
Jahan got in like way before you.
Yeah.
Okay, next question. Waka waka waka.
J.
D.
That was Jahan.
Pac-Man.
Fuck. Okay,
Are you not hearing me, man?
you're not saying anything.
Is my mic muted or something? I'm saying it, man.
My J sounds louder than your L.
Alright, last question. It looks like Jahan's won this anyway, but last question. Brother of Jimmy Lee.
L.
D.
Luke.
Johnny.
No.
D.
Dustin.
Billy.
Yes.
Fucking hell.
Alright, and the winner by 1 entire point is Jahan.
What do I win?
I hate this game show. I've
You
never
win
been
a
this many.
complimentary bottle of Lon Lon Ranch Milk, now sponsored
Yes.
by Capsule Computers podcast.
Yes. Yes.
No. No.
You
No.
don't want to know where they milk them from.
This was hand squeezed by Malin herself.
Came from my...
Alright, the scores are Jahan 5, Luke with 1, Austin with 4, and Travis with 1. So yes,
You're drinking my tit milk, Jahan. My
hand
tits.
Mhm.
milked by Malin. So
Yep, hand milked. That was quite pleasurable when that was milked.
you have to look at, the advantages and disadvantages. You have to weigh them up before you take a swig.
Take a swig, I dare. You'll wake up dead tomorrow.
Don't worry, Luke. There's always next time.
My poisonous tit milk. You
Okay.
like that? You like it? You like it?
Yeah, it's alright. Not the best drink I've had.
Yeah, you'll be dead. You'll be dead shortly.
Alright, guys,
Next
and
week.
with that, we are now on our way out of the podcast
Are we?
with our outro. So just remember, you can check us out on Facebook, which is Capsule Computers, which you can just type up in the search bar and will come up, probably the first answer. We also have a Twitter, which is at Capsule Computer without the S, because Twitter are assholes. You can also
Yep.
check out our YouTube, which is www.youtube.com/Capsule Computers, and that has all of our interviews and stuff on it.
Hmm.
Supernatural.
That's
You can also check out our official website at www.capsulecomputers.com.au or UK or whatever, corresponding to one of a few countries there. And of course, if you want to get in contact with me, send us a picture of our contest for the Diablo 3 picture vibrator thing.
That's a contest now?
Yes.
What do they win?
An
You
excellent
said-
live arcade
you-
code, remember?
You get the picture.
Yep. So, yes, if you still want to send us pictures of yourself with a Diablo 3 vibrator, you can at podcast at capsulecomputers.com. Just remember,
Link
our
must-
show is sponsored by Lon Lon Ranch brand milk from the Hyrule Kingdom.
It's-
And you should check them out over at Lon Lon Ranch, the actual ranch, because they don't have a website because the internet didn't exist then. I am Linker JX. This is Luke, Travis, Dustin, and Jahan, all signing out. Thanks for
Later.
listening, everyone, and
my
have
tits.
fun, or don't play at all, or
The milk.
something.
coming out of my tit or something.
And that is the end of the podcast.
Bye.
Bye bye.